going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Independent. We're invested in you.
Welcome back into Lexington, Alabama, as we are getting ready for the boys matchup between the Wilson Warriors and the Lexington Golden Bears. Wilson comes into this game 8-3, while Lexington comes in 4-4. And Corey, both of these teams are actually coming off 2 consecutive 20-point losses, so this is kind of a get-right game, if you will, for both of these teams tonight.
Yeah, for sure, and it's a tough matchup. You know, playing out of area at this stage, you're just trying to figure out who you are and what you're about. But one thing's for sure, one of these teams is going to come out on top tonight. You're really focusing on how you play tonight and maybe not as much on the outcome of that and figuring out how can we continue to grow and improve. Only 8 games under the belt for Lexington, so they're a little bit behind the 8 ball in number of games, whereas Wilson's already put 11 on the board. And so a little bit of an advantage there. They probably know a little bit more about their identity at this point.
As we will pause for just a moment, they're going to be announcing the starting lineups here in a moment.
Let's go ahead and meet tonight's starters. We'll start with Wilson.
Number 0, James Mallett will start tonight in the guard position for the Wilson Warriors. Number 5, Landon Smith, another guard. Number 11, Will Brooks. He's a senior. Number 12, Nolan Hetrick, a 5'10 senior for Wilson. And finally, number 20, Cole Miller, a 6-foot senior.
James Mallett had an opportunity to coach him in Little League Baseball some time ago. He's a competitor. He gets after it.
Sam just gave me a note that he's a very, very good tennis player.
Yeah.
And so we'll probably see a lot of good hand-eye coordination from him tonight. Lexington now announcing their starting line, number 00, Aiden Chambers, and number 2, Zane Kilburn. A senior, Landon Carlock in guard. Will White, number 23. And rounding out the starting lineup for Lexington, number 24. S. Newton.
One of the things you see right off the top here, not a lot of size from either one of these teams, so they're both going to be pretty equaled out there from a standpoint of nobody's going to be with a significant height advantage. So it comes down to execution, their ability to use their bodies to create space and separation. Love to see matchups like this.
As you mentioned, Lexington only playing 8 games so far, and I think a lot of that is because some of the better players on this team, I know we're playing football late into the year. It's like you said, still trying to figure themselves out as a team as we are playing basketball here in December. Number 23, White, and number 12, Hetrick will jump it up. And the tip will be controlled by the Lexington Golden Bears as number 4, Carlock, has it on the left wing as we start tonight's game. Wilson comes out, it looks like in a zone as they get a nice entry pass, number 23, White, and he lays it in for Lexington.
Great seal to the baseline side, nice bounce pass on the entry, and just a strong finish there that time.
Number 0, Mallett brings it up the court, passes it to Hetrick, now swings it over to number 11 in Brooks, and he loses it. And they're going to say out of bounds off the Wilson Warriors. That is a lot of intensity for the Bears to start the game.
Yeah, really good effort on the offensive end, getting a high-low look, come back out in your half-court man, and put a lot of pressure on the ball. Not great spacing that time by Wilson. See if they make the adjustment.
Lexington has it on top of the key. That's Carlock. They swing it to the corner for Chambers. He swings it back up top to Kilburn. As they're working it around the top of the key as Wilson sits back in the zone. Carlock has an opening, swings it inside to White. He's tied up, swings it back out to Carlock. Right wing, Kilburn. No shot clock in high school, so they're able to work the ball around as much as they want. As Carlock sets up a play here for Lexington. Very extended offense here for Lexington as Carlock has it almost just in front of half court.
Yeah, literally daring Wilson to come out of the zone right now.
White takes a nice fadeaway jumper but misses and rebounded by Wilson. That's Landon Smith. Smith probes the right side, hands it off to Hetrick. Watching a little bit of film on Wilson. Hetrick is a shooter. He's going to get up his shots as he now has it on the right wing. Hetrick drives, spins, stuck and throws it back out. Number 20, Cole Miller.
Lexington dictating with their defense right now, really forcing the ball where they want it to go. Wilson with an overload set here, trying to create some opportunities with some lanes, but unable to. Close to a 5-second violation there.
Both teams not struggling to get into their offense a little bit as Miller now in the post, swings it back out to Hetrick. Not able to find anything so far on offense for the Warriors. Miller just dribbling it out.
You talked about the no shot clock in Alabama high school basketball at this point. Do think that's coming sooner rather than later. Really be an extra lift for the game to keep the pace moving.
A great double team right there by Lexington to cause a throwaway, and Chambers will lay it in on the other end.
Hetrick a little shaken up there, left his feet and came down on top of somebody else's foot. Seems to be okay though.
We are 2.5 minutes in. It's 4-0 Lexington as Wilson unable to really get anything going so far on offense. Now a good fake right there, up fake as he drives, jump stops, and that was like a block as he slid into him. Good call right there by the ref.
Yeah.
And Mal will be headed to the line.
Yeah, Coach Krieger looking to get some movement going towards the rim from his group right now. Everything's on the perimeter in a 5-out situation. Again, not a ton of size, so you've got to really create space for each other. Some off-ball screens, some backdoor cuts, finding anything that can get them into some paint touches, that time able to get a little penetration and get to the free throw line.
As Mallett's at the line, his first free throw is up and good as it hits the back of the rim and goes down.
Love the environment of high school basketball and student sections showing up and being loud and proud for their teams. Love that environment. These kids that get to play in front of these night in and night out.
And certainly, this is what it's all about. Communities coming together and seeing their teams play. Kilburn has it on the right wing. Flexen swings it back over to Chambers. He gets it into White. Really good ball movement. He takes a jumper. Hesitated a little bit and made the shot more contested, and he hits the front rim, and Wilson now comes the other way. Mallett drives. Stopped there by Kilburn. Good back cut, but throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, got the cut they were looking for, just didn't execute the entry pass that time. Really good baseline action, and he was free on the run, just unable to connect.
Carlock brings it up as Wilson sits back in their 2-3 zone. A screen attempt by White to free him up, but able to get over the top there by number 11, Brooks. Deep three by Kilburn. Lexington has on the right wing, Kilburn. Once again into the middle to White, and good tie-up right there by Wilson. As the possession arrow will favor the Warriors.
Yeah, against that zone, really have to keep great spacing, and you're seeing Lexington with a little stack option on the ball side of the floor. That time just too many bodies in the area and nowhere to go. Get himself in a little bit of a bind.
Wilson will come the other way. Possession arrow now favors Lexington. Now they're dropped back into a zone as Wilson probes. Good kick to Mallett. He punctures the zone, swings it over to the left wing. Good ball movement, and a three is up and good by number 5, Landon Smith. Struggled with ball movement to start this game, but that was a great possession by Wilson. Lexington now swings it around. Chambers takes a deep three. It's no good, but a rebound will go to Lexington and Carlock. He now drives in, and good hands once again by Wilson as they come away with the ball and bring it up the floor. That's number 0, Mallett.
Yeah, Wilson a little bit more aggressive in their half-court zone the last couple of possessions, doing a good job of getting some touches.
You can see both teams really active with their hands, a lot of physicality so far, and the rest are letting it play, so we're seeing a lot of steals early. Carlock goes into White. He's lived in the middle of that right around the free throw line area in the zone. Chambers takes a mid-range, and it's good. Good under control move right there from Aiden Chambers, and he now has 4 points on the night.
Yeah, find the gaps in the zone. The mid-range jumpers, especially on the baseline, are going to be there, touching the ball at the high post area and looking to kick the ball out. Create some really good opportunities. Got a friendly bounce that time on the home rim.
Lexington running a 2-3 matchup zone here, kind of in between a man and a zone, and they're creating some problems here for Wilson. A deep three taken by Brooks. It's missed, and good box out there by the Lexington Bears as White's able to come away with the ball. Carlock, top of the key for Lexington as Wilson settles back into the zone. So what are you looking to do, Corey, to beat this zone?
Yeah, you really want to find ways to get the ball into the high post area or into the short corner area off the pass. If you can get a lane to penetrate, what you don't want to do is you don't want to over penetrate and get into the second layer of the defense. You don't want to just move the ball around on the perimeter. It's really a combination of inside out attack and being active without the basketball. 3
deep threes by Lexington, all missed there, but in a zone it's really hard to defensive rebound, and we're seeing that for Wilson. Though they get a steal and they get it up to number 11 Brooks, who lays it up and in on that fast break, as we have a timeout taken by Wilson. And so scoring has been hard to come by, as it is now 7-6 Wilson, as we'll take a very quick break. This is high school basketball on the Export Network, brought to you by Bank Independent.
Well, I think Fame and Muscle Shoals music is here because we're fiercely independent. In the early days, it was hard because it was hard for banks to get their head around, we're going to give these hippies some money to go make music. We've been doing business with Bank Independent since the 70s, and to know that they've got our back, it means a lot, and it just kind of takes the stress off of doing business day to day. They've always been there, and it's always just been a phone call away.
Welcome back in, as we are 1:47 left to go in the first quarter. Tonight's broadcast is sponsored by Bank Independent, your partner for business success. From Treasury Solutions to small business service, Bank Independent helps local businesses grow from the ground up. Member FDIC. As Noah Carlock brings it up for Lexington.
Lexington first possession gets a really good high-low look. Haven't really been able to find that same rhythm against the zone defense, and they've taken some quick shots that are going to be there, but you got to knock some of those down. Great transition.
And there's the shooter for Wilson, Nolan Hetrick, as he nails his first shot of the night. Noah Hetrick.
Yeah, got to know where the shooters are, match them up in transition.
And they try to throw a skip pass in the zone, and that's number 1, Sawyer Howard, throws out of bounds. A couple of subs in for Lexington. Number 1, Sawyer Howard, and number 21, Lathan Smith.
Coach Killen just trying to tell his guys we're okay, calm down. A couple of turnovers there, some missed shots. Got to value the basketball against the zone because you're only going to get one or two good looks.
Running a little weave action for Wilson, as they now have it on the left wing to Mallett. He surveys and backs out. And you can see this, trying to probe this matchup zone Lexington has on defense as they try to cut a passing lane. Miller now probes. Kicks it out to Hetrick, another open three, and back rim no good. Good hustle by Mallett, but he's able to knock it out of bounds. Wilson definitely settled into the game a little more on offense. Now is a 4-point lead, 10-6. And points are hard to come by in this game so far.
Yeah, you can see their intent on really packing things in with the zone defense and then being aggressive on the offensive end of the floor.
Number 5, Jaden McDaniel enters the game for Lexington. He's a junior guard, as now the ball goes through the legs of White over to the left wing to Chambers. Swings into the corner for Howard to open three. Barely grazes the rim as Wilson comes away with the rebound. That's Lucas Rich.
Much better offense that time. They got a paint touch and a backside kick. Got a good look, just unable to convert.
Hetrick has it at the left wing, and now they do an entry pass to Rich. Swings it around, good hands by White. Mallett does a nice pump fake behind the back dribble, walled up by Chambers though, into the corner to Miller. Miller jump stops at the elbow. Good back cut and a great block though by number 1, Sawyer Howard.
Yeah, really good backdoor cut that time. In motion though, great recovery on the block shot.
Number 0, Mallett triggers the inbounds, gets an entry pass into Rich, and the game clock expires as we end the first quarter. 10-6, the Wilson Warriors up after the first quarter, as we're going to take a quick break here. This is high school basketball on the Sports Network presented by Bank Independent.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
Imagine a bank where you feel at home. Real people living right here in your community are the heart of Bank Independent and everything we do. Bank Independent. We're invested in you.
Welcome back in as we begin the second quarter. Wilson leading 10-6 in this varsity boys matchup, and you can see both teams kind of filling each other out, Corey, and what are we looking at as we go into the second quarter here?
Yeah, I think what you saw, Lexington came out with a lot of energy, just really amped up, executed them well on their first couple of possessions, got some good deflections on defense. But then Wilson really just kind of settled in. That zone defense, they're comfortable in it. They move really well in it. And what they've been able to do is execute in the transition a couple of times. And there they go forcing another turnover. Lexington just turning and throwing it without really surveying the defense.
You can tell they had a set play there, but
yeah,
it wasn't open. And as now Wilson has the ball on the other end. Mallett at the top of the key in a little weave action. A shot there by Wilson from the three-point line and misses. That was Brooks. Lexington, that's got to be frustrating as they run into each other, and it will stay with Wilson.
Yeah, nobody really shooting lights out yet as both teams have gotten some decent looks, unable to convert consistently. It's going to be a little bit of a dogfight. Figure out a wheel of who can get the highest percentage looks and then be able to convert those.
Wilson triggers the ball into Miller. It's Cole Miller, and back out to Mallett. Pump fakes a three. He loves that right-hand dribble, then goes behind his back. You can tell Chambers is keyed in on that.
Yeah, they've done a nice job on ball defense to this point.
We're going to have a block as Hetrick probes into the paint.
Yeah.
And it's only the second foul in the game.
Yeah,
both have been
clean
on Lexington.
Been pretty clean to this point. Really good effort that time, just a little bit late. Great penetration that time by Hetrick, and just moving his body ever so slightly once he got up in the air to not run straight through the defender, but to kind of graze him and get the block charge called.
Swishes through the first free throw. As he'll now get ready for his second attempt. Free throw up and good. We've had a 7-0 run here by the Wilson Warriors as Lexington has gone, I would say, about 3 to 4 minutes of game time without any scoring, trying to puncture into this 2-3 zone. Inside.
That's the look right there.
A really good pass from White inside to number 20, Braden Carpenter, and he scores his first 2 points of the game. Wilson quickly back the other way. Hetrick a wide open corner three, and that is nothing but the bottom. His second three of the night.
Yeah, Lexington just lost him there on the dribble penetration. Well done that time, finding him wide open in the corner.
White has it at the free, and good shot there from the elbow in the middle of that zone by Will White.
Team's starting to loosen up a little bit, getting some good looks, get a little flow to the game going here.
White, really good defense on the dribble there from Miller. As you can see, Wilson's trying to attack that paint and then kick it out. Mallett tries to post up. Kilburn not getting anywhere, but a nice lean-in move, but no good. Good defense right there from Kilburn.
Yeah, really solid. Just stand your ground.
White takes a pull-up mid-range, in and out. Good move, just not able to convert the shot. And now we have a scrum on the floor as Wilson will come away with it. Mallett up ahead to number 11, Brooks. He pump fakes, drives, double team, wide open Mallett. He pump fakes, takes a mid-range jumper. And it looks like we're going to have a push in the back on number 2, Lucas Rich.
Yeah, Mallett that time gets a good look on the kick out. Probably passed up an easier shot to take a tougher shot off the bounce. But like the pace right now, like the energy that both teams are playing with, Lexington's gotten a couple of good looks in the mid-range. See if they can convert those. But, again, both teams starting to find a little bit on offense. It's now you're getting into that second wind and seeing which of the teams can maintain that level of consistency and with energy.
In the girls' game, we had a lot of fast break offense. It's the opposite in this one. It's been a lot of half-court sets, a lot of trying to move the ball around as both teams are playing sort of a 2-3 zone. Chambers has on the left wing, gets into White. He throws it without looking. You tell Lexington they have the right idea, but some of these passes are being made without even looking to see if there's a defender in the area.
Yeah, and they were successful the last time he made that pass with a bounce pass. It's so much more challenging to defend an interior bounce pass than it is a chest pass because it's where your hands are. And so got to make that adjustment and go back to consistently making the correct pass for what the defense is providing there.
Kilburn missed everything on the corner three, but Lexington gets the rebound. Chambers on the right wing. And they have him in the corner. He drives baseline to White, who has in the middle of that zone, goes up. He's just so athletic, able to kind of jump in the air and just hang.
Yeah, really does a nice job of creating separation, and he's got a good touch. That's his, I think, third mid-range jump shot that he's been able to knock down. Really good body control.
Miller brings up the court for Wilson, crosses up. White gets into the paint. Good jump stop. Up and no good. And Lexington comes away with the rebound. That's White.
So good answer here by Lexington. Wilson pushed out a little bit of a lead. Lexington has come right back in, made it a one-possession game.
White really doing a good job of working in the middle there as they swing it to the corner. Chambers all the time in the world. In and out for him, and good boxing out there by Wilson as Mallett comes back down the floor. Miller has it on the right wing. Inside, great pass, and he loses the ball.
Almost went in anyway.
Went over, then seemed to slip out of his hands.
Yeah.
But a really good look there from Cole Miller. And now Landon Carlock will have it up top for Lexington. 3-point game, Wilson leading 15-12. Another really fast game, not a lot of fouls, only 3 total for the game.
Yeah, really clean to this point. The officials are letting them play through some contact, but like to see Lexington be a little bit more aggressive to the rim and see if they can create some contact and get to the free throw line.
Yeah, haven't really probed much inside that zone except for the interior passing as Mallett has on the other side. Miller has it. Now a ball screen set as they try to trap. He gets past both of them. Should be numbers as Brooks has a corner three off the back rim, but rebounded on a long miss. Mallett loves the pump fake. Hetrick now drives, pulls up, hangs, just missing. Another rebound by Wilson. Hetrick drives the baseline once again.
Landon Smith has been all over the offensive glass for the Warriors. Done a great job of just being really active.
Smith takes a three, misses. The shooting percentage in this game not as good as the girls from the three so far, as we've only had a one made three by the Wilson Warriors. Two have been made so far. White in the middle of that zone, and once again, he's feeling it from the mid-range right now, Corey.
Yeah, and what you're seeing right now is them finding him. He's getting a touch every possession, and Wilson, whether he's in the high post or the mid post, is having a hard time just contesting his jump shot.
White gets his hand in the passing lane, and now he takes on number 11, and there's going to be a blocking foul as he goes up. That foul is going to be called on Will Brooks.
Yeah, a little bit late whistle there, but it's the right call. Hopefully both guys are okay. A little bit of contact in the air. Will White, though, just really inserting himself on both ends of the floor. I think that's his third or fourth deflection in the passing lane, and that time he just starts his own break and gets himself to the free throw line.
White has 8 out of the 14 points for the Bears as he now takes his first free throw of the night. It's off the back rim, no good.
A little shaken up there, reaching down, grabbing his left ankle. That contact, when you land on another player's foot, really hard to control that. It's tough. See if they can get him a little bit of substitution on a made free throw here.
As a former player, one of the scariest things is when your legs are taken out from you going up. Unsure of that landing as he makes the second free throw to tie up the game.
Okay, he's coming off the floor for the first time. See how Wilson attacks. See if that changes anything for Lexington, and he's been kind of the catalyst for what they've done on the offensive end, the defensive end of the floor.
A couple subs in now is number 20, Braden Carpenter, and 21, Lathan Smith. Miller has it at the right wing. He drives, a little off balance, and good defense there by Carpenter. Another pump fake by Mallett as he probes the baseline, kicks it out to Hetrick, swings it to Miller. He drives strong, goes up, and one. Great upper body strength right there from Cole Miller as he draws the foul and one.
Must be the last name. Miller just taking it up strong, going through the contact. It's It's one of the first downhill drives that we've seen them go up and try to finish through in this game. They've gotten some good touches, but you mentioned it earlier in the possession. Lexington has done a really good job of contesting and containing, staying in front of the basketball. That time Miller, though, able to shake and get just a little bit of an opportunity to sever the angle and get to the rim and finish. Well done on the three-point play.
He converts it with the made free throw, as Corey said, and now Lexington comes the other way. It's number 21, Lathan Smith, hands it off to Chambers. Good pass interior, but just couldn't handle it. Carpenter, number 20, as Wilson comes the other way. Kicks it out to Hetrick, wide open three, and we know he can shoot it.
Yeah.
That's his third three of the night. He has 11 points.
Losing their discipline on their secondary defense there by Lexington. 3 people collapsing on the ball, nobody finding the shooter. Hetrick knows what to do. Spot up at the three-point line and call for ball.
As they get to the middle of that zone, that's a miss, though. As you said, that's Will White's spot. He's out of the game right now and not the same when he's not in. Kicks it out to Miller. He takes a three just off the front rim, and now Lexington will come out of the pack, and a foul there on number 5, Landon Smith.
Yeah, just a little bit of fatigue foul right there. Definitely enough contact to warrant the call. Give a little bit of an opportunity for some substitutions to come in. Jaden McDaniel back on the floor for the Bears. Also Will White back on the floor.
Wilson has opened up a 6-point lead here with a couple of three-point plays. One the hard way, one from the three-point line. As number 2, Kilburn, has it on the right wing for Lexington. Number 5, McDaniel, has it at the top of the key. He drives in, jump stop, looks, finds White, who takes the top of the key three. Back rim, no good. And Miller's going to come out of the pack with numbers. He's going to take on White. Nice jump stop, but misses everything. And Kilburn comes the other way for Lexington on the break.
Yeah, anticipating contact that just didn't end up being there.
Kind of a whirling, derving move right there from Kilburn, but he gets it to fall as he floats it in. And Wilson throws it away. Nice step in by White. As Lexington comes the other way. Jump shot by White, short.
Yeah, might have gotten fouled on the arm that time. The referee did not see it. Results in an air ball that time.
And another turnover by Wilson, uncharacteristically. Haven't seen many of those, as now we have 20 seconds left in this half, and Lexington will hold for one final shot. Carlock, top of the key. Wilson leading 21-17 as they'll try to trim the lead down to one possession. And good hands there by Wilson. Now we're down to 2 seconds. Takes a deep three, and Kilburn hits the side. Oh, that was a perfect offensive rebounding, but misses the layup. And the score will be 21-17. Once again, the guests are up as they'll take a 4-point lead into halftime. The Wilson Warriors over the Lexington Golden Bears. We'll step aside as we head into the break. This is high school basketball on the Ed Sports Network, brought to you by Bank Independent.
Imagine a bank where you feel at home. Real people living right here in your community are the heart of Bank Independent and everything we do. You have our commitment to bring the people, ideas, and resources together that create a stronger community full of endless potential. For over 75 years, we've served this place we all call home. Bank Independent. We're invested in you.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
Hey folks, you'll never guess where I'm at today. That's right, I'm at my Quick Mart store. Starting off with a fresh cup of coffee, and guess what's next? The biscuit. That was quick and easy, and I'm ready to start my day. Head on over to your favorite Quick Mart store and start your day out right.
The year
year may be ending, but the savings are just beginning right here at Story & Lee Furniture. Just imagine 3 football fields full of furniture, and half of everything in the store is half off. Over 500 recliners in stock, and half of them are half off. Over 200 dining rooms in stock, and half of them are half off. Buy a Kingsdown king-size mattress set for the price of a queen. Plus, get 0% financing and free delivery too. Story & Lee's half off half of everything sale absolutely ends Saturday, January 3rd.
This is the X Sports Network.
Welcome back to Lexington, Alabama. Halftime of the boys varsity game as the visitors from Wilson on top 21-17 over the Lexington Bears. And here to join me at the halftime is the winning coach from the girls game, Coach Oakley. Congratulations on a very well done job tonight. You guys came out, you put the pressure on early, you executed inside and outside, and really never looked back from that moment.
Yeah, that was the game plan. We played Lexington early this season. It was their first game. I knew they were young, but I've watched some of their games here as of late. They've been playing a lot better. We knew we were going to have to play our best game coming in, and thank goodness we got hot early. I feel like we established what we were wanting to do inside too, so we did a really good job offensively tonight.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit about the balance that you guys are trying to achieve there. You got some great interior high-low looks and the ability to score one-on-one down low, but then the ability to kick out and multiple shooters around the perimeter. How hard is that for a defense to adjust to?
It's very hard. We've struggled shooting the 3 ball so far this year, but we've got some really –
Did you tell Tillman that? Because she did not struggle tonight.
No, she didn't. I think she ended up with 6 threes. That was her best game by far, but she's capable of doing that.
Yeah.
She hadn't really got going really good yet, but tonight she had that breakout game, and we hope that continues to happen down the road. But we've got some really good inside post play. Peyton Berry, one of our juniors, she has really come on this year. Gosh, she's such a strong player. We got Anna Simone in there. We got E.K. Hewitt, who plays a guard, but she's really more of a post. But we've got several other bodies over there too that, it's probably the biggest team I've had as far as in the post. We've got some length with our guards too. So it's just good seeing it kind of come together.
Yeah, Barry's ability one-on-one to just create space and finish with great touch through contact, without contact, did a really nice job. And then it forced Lexington to go to something they didn't want to do and have to double down on the post, which then created a nightmare on the perimeter with the way that your team shot the ball from the perimeter today. That pressure, if you can apply that and get the pace that you're looking, your ability to control the boards on defense and be able to do that. Talk to me a little bit about your concept. You guys switched up some defense. You started out with your aggressive man. Then you showed some half-court trap, a little bit of full-court stuff. What are you trying to get out of your team when you're mixing things up like that?
Yeah, I've always been a press team. We usually run a lot of three-quarter court type stuff, and believe it or not, we hadn't ran much this year. I feel like we've been better in the half-court. It kind of keeps opposing teams from getting those easy ones against the press. So we really sit down in the half court in our man-to-man defense. We do a pretty good job guarding. And then we switch back and forth to our 1-3-1.
Yeah.
Just with our length, I've always liked trying to run it. But this year with our length, I feel like we've been really successful in it. We got some quickness too. But we like to switch that up. You never know, just keep the opposing team off balance. And we've been able to do that thus far most nights, so I hope that continues.
Come out of halftime, you got a comfortable 20-plus point lead, and you don't get the energy and the effort that you're looking for. Call that early timeout to just kind of recalibrate them. What's the message to your team when you're trying to get them to not play the scoreboard and focus on executing who they are and what they're about?
Yeah, we talked about that at halftime. I mean, it's hard when you're up like that. It's hard to come out in the second half and kind of let your guard down and go through the motions. And I told them, look, I'm not going to handcuff you. I want you to still push the basketball. I want us to score in transition, keep pounding it in the paint. And we come out and did not do a great job with that early in the third. You just have to reel them back in and let them know, don't play the scoreboard. We're trying to win every possession.
Yeah, for sure. So let's look ahead, Coach. The season, the area play's just now gotten underway. You got a lot to work for, got a lot to work towards. What are you looking to try to get out of your team between now and the end of the year as you turn the calendar into January?
Yeah, we've just got to do a better job of handling tough games. We had a tough one the other night against one of our area foes in Deschler, and we pretty much led that whole game. They were shorthanded a little bit, but we led that whole game, and we kind of let the pressure get to us late in the fourth quarter, and we didn't handle ourselves great. Had some turnovers, some bad shots. We didn't defend real good and finish plays defensively. So we've got a couple of teams coming up here soon. We've got Muscle Shoals coming up Friday. We've got Central on Monday. Then we've got Belgreen, Vinemont, and Russellville. So we've got a good little stretch here where I feel like we're going to have to get used to that tough basketball. We're going to have to gut some wins out. So I look forward to see how our team responds to that.
How will you take the confidence that was built tonight by your perimeter shooting, by your interior game? How will you take that and carry it over into those matchups that are a little bit more head-to-head physicality and size-wise?
Yeah, I hope our kids, like Cam tonight, she got going shooting the threes. So I hope in pressure situations, the more she's seen go in tonight, I know that helped her. So hopefully that will continue to help her in those tough games too. Our inside play, we've got some tough kids. I do think that we can be tougher at times with several of our kids. But I do look forward to seeing if we can continue that confidence in some of these games down the road.
All right. Coach, I appreciate you stepping by tonight and just sharing a little bit with us. Best of luck to you throughout the rest of the year, and we'll definitely catch you once the calendar turns.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
Thank
you
y'all.
See you. Take care.
Appreciate it.
May be ending, but the savings are just beginning right here at Story & Lee Furniture. Just imagine 3 football fields full of furniture, and half of everything in the store is half off. Over 500 recliners in stock, and half of them are half off. Over 200 dining rooms in stock, and half of them are half off. Buy a Kingsdown king-size mattress set for the price of a queen. Plus, get 0% financing and free delivery too. Story & Lee's half off half of everything sale absolutely ends Saturday, January 3rd.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
Independent. We're invested in you.
Welcome back into Lexington's high school gym as we get ready for the second half of the varsity boys game between the Lexington Golden Bears and the Wilson Warriors. Wilson will have a 4-point lead going into the second half. It was a tightly contested first half, but Wilson did have a little bit of a run there, Corey, where Noah Hetrick hit a couple of threes. That's why they have a 4-point lead heading into this third quarter.
Yeah, basketball is always going to be a game of runs, and you've seen some mini runs from both teams. You really haven't seen either team find some just consistent rhythm. A couple of possessions here, a couple of possessions there. The pace of play, I think, favors what Wilson is trying to do with the zone defense and then really getting out and running a little bit in offense. But they're very methodical in what their approach is to going against this matchup zone and half-court man that they've seen from Lexington.
Wilson has the ball to start the half as we kick it off here in the second half. Mallett at the top of the key, drives in, jump stop, leans in, up and good. Really good body control right there from Mallett as he gets his first field goal of the night. 4 points on the night, his other 2 coming at the line. Carlock swings it over to Chambers. Gets it back now as he tries to set up a little bit of play, and now Wilson's in a little bit of man. Looks like White's going to post up on the interior. Newton swings it over to the corner to Kilburn. Drives baseline.
Yeah, I think what Wilson is saying with this is we're going to try to take away your best player and see if your other 4 can do enough to get the basketball into the basket. Man-to-man defense, they're doubling down. They're showing a lot towards White.
And Kilburn knocks down a 3. No points in the first half, but we were watching him drill some threes in the halftime warm-up, and he capitalizes there for his first points of the night.
Right on cue. White gets a touch, gets the ball back out.
Excuse me, Kilburn did have a layup in the first half, so that's now 5 for him. It's 23-20 Wilson. That's actually Lexington's, though, first three-pointer of the night. Wilson kicks it out to 11 Brooks. He misses the front of the rim three. And there you go. There's your guy. He's been active down low, number 5, Landon Smith for Wilson.
Yeah, you can see in this 5-out offense that they're running, it really takes a lot of great effort to go from the perimeter to the board, and they do. They crash down hard. Landon Smith has been super active.
Miller gets the ball and a curl, drives in. Good backdoor cut, but that was just one of those a little too hot to handle there on the interior passing.
Again, another time where just a little soft bounce pass lays it right into his kitchen. He's able to go up and score. Find ways to add value, and I think you're seeing that from Smith. You're seeing that from a couple of these other guys of just maybe scoring is not their number one strength, but energy and effort is something they can always have control over. And so watching them provide what they can to the team to be successful.
Kilburn, a really good crossover and left-handed layup, but left it short. Just slipped off the hand a little bit, and now Mallett comes the other way, pressured by Kilburn.
Yeah, good battle between these two. Good athleticism, good intensity, really working hard against each other all night long.
Just watching the players, too. You can see a couple of them have taken it pretty personally to go one-on-one with a couple of their counterparts. As now Wilson has it at the top of the key. That's Mallett as he backs down, spinning his way into the paint. And Brooks ends up with it at the top of the key. Hetrick gets a screen from him.
You mentioned it earlier about just the proximity of these teams. And in this area, there's so many good basketball teams in the county, and they get to be so comfortable with what the other one does. There's a lot of built-in rivalry.
That's right. Chambers got a steal but missed the layup, and now Mallett comes in the other way. And Mallett has opened up the scoring here in the second half for the Warriors as he has both of their baskets.
Definitely an adjustment for him at the halftime of talking about in the first half he was penetrating to kick or to distribute. Now he's penetrating to score.
You tell that one was going up all the way, and Kilburn misses back rim, but a really good rebound right there by Will White, and he will be fouled.
That's only White's second touch of the half. The man-to-man defense has really taken him out of being the focal point for what Lexington is trying to do. It's a great adjustment by Coach Krieger and his team to really go to the man-to-man and try to take White out. Now they're back to a zone on the inbounds play. See if White can get involved here.
That was the second foul on Landon Smith for Wilson. He'll go to the bench. Carlock gets up a three from the corner and drains it as they pull within 2. And that was his first three for Carlock and his first points on the night.
Yeah, cross-court pass against the zone. So hard to rotate quick enough against a good shooter.
Mallett once again gets in the paint, and he is feeling it now. Good touch there on the fadeaway jumper, and he now has 8 points for the game.
Recognizing that he's got enough upper body strength to get in, feel the contact, and push through it.
Kilburn has it, breaks past the wall. May have tiptoed in, but he's able to get the layup to go, and Lexington takes a timeout after Kilburn's layup.
Yeah, that was definitely not a Euro step. It was just an extra step. And all three officials missed it. But what great body control and the ability to kiss the ball off the window and get a soft touch in. 2-point game, 1 possession here as Lexington has found a few things coming out of the second half with their perimeter game that wasn't there in the first half. I think it's indicative of the man-to-man defense that Wilson has gone to. They've shut White down. Other players have to step up, and they have to this point. On the other end, Wilson being very aggressive, attacking the rim. Mallett with a couple of different drives and the ability to finish. See what is the adjustment coming out of the timeout here that Coach Killen calls. See if we get a little bit of different pressure, make an adjustment. Maybe they go to a zone to see if they can take away some of that penetration.
Basketball is definitely in a game of adjustments, and you feel like you see that to start this half so far as, like you said, White's been taken away, but several of the other Lexington players have made a couple of threes, something that didn't happen in the first half. And Wilson on the other side made several threes in the first half and now getting some drives in from Mallett. As it's 27-25 Wilson with a 2-point lead. Mallett gets it into number 2, Lucas Rich. He now has a handoff to 20 Miller. Takes a deep three. Looks good and finds the back of the net. 5-point lead now for Wilson.
Miller does a great job of just coming off of that curl with enough separation. Definitely within range there for him.
Extending the offense now as White has it in that middle area. Miller, once again, really close. You can see both of them kind of laughing at each other. It's a little bit of a battle between Miller and White as now White establishes his post up at the elbow, and Carlock has that top of the key. Swings to the corner. Kilburn wide open. And once again, Nylon, as that's his second three of the half.
That's the effect of White in the post. Help side's cheating a little bit too much to try to double and get the ball out of his hand, and just the ability to knock down that backside three.
Three for Wilson on the way, no good, and it's a scramble for it on the floor, and Kilburn comes away with it for Lexington. Up to White, a chance to tie the game or take the lead here. Chambers steps into the top of the key, drives, rams into a Wilson Warrior, and they're going to call a block on the Warriors. That's number 11, Will Brooks. That's also his second foul of the night. You can tell he disagrees.
Yeah, Brooks not in bad position there, but again, just the body control by Chambers and his ability to kind of shift at the very last minute creates a blocking foul there. Not a lot of contact, but enough to get him to the free throw line. Converts the first one. 1 point game, first a chance to tie for the first time since early in the basketball game.
Wilson's kind of held Lexington at bay, and now they do make the free throw tied up. Corey, it feels like we're seeing White not getting the ball as much, but these Lexington guards feeling a little bit more comfortable.
Absolutely. They have definitely stepped up and answered. See how long Krieger stays in the man-to-man. If he believes that Lexington can hit enough perimeter shots to stay effective.
Hetrick takes a three. That's what he's good at, and in and out. As Wilson once again, though, Rich gets the rebound, kicks it out to Brooks, who's not shy, and he misses another three. And now Kilburn comes away with another rebound.
Yeah, Wilson just tenacious on the offensive glass. Gives him a lot of confidence to keep taking those shots.
Here's those Lexington guards as Carlock probes it, misses, but it's a de facto pass to White, who blows the layup. And Wilson comes out of the pack as Mallett has it. Good hands there by Chambers, who deflects it out of bounds. 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Once again, and this game, just like the girls' game, not a lot of stoppages of play. Only 5 fouls on the night for Wilson, 2 for Lexington. Neither team has been close to the bonus in any quarter.
Yeah, it's been a really well officiated game, and that's having coached for as long as I did, to say that it's a well officiated game. That's hard for me to verbalize, but they've done a really nice job of just being in control. The players have played really clean, very, very active, very physical at times, but nothing that's warranted a lot of stoppages of play.
You really only notice the refs when they mess up, it seems like. But this crew has done a really good job tonight. Haven't really even thought about whether they've missed some calls. Good move by Miller up and under, as that's his 7th and 8th point of the night.
Miller's ability to hit that three a couple possessions ago just sucked the defender in another half a step and a little shot fake, and he was gone.
Kilburn, fadeaway jumper from behind the backboard.
Yeah, degree of difficulty there. That was a tough shot. Kilburn has really stepped up in the second half. And hit some nice shots for the Bears.
10 points in the second half for Kilburn, really taking over and been their offense. Hetrick another three. That's off the rim as he just couldn't get it to drop. Once again, that offensive rebounding, as that's number 1, Maxwell Hudson.
Yeah, and you can see it's almost as if these offensive rebounders are telling the shooters like Hetrick, like Miller, keep shooting the basketball. We'll go get it. If you get a good look, we want you to take it. And that just relaxes the shooter so much to know that if they miss it, their team's going to have their back.
And Hetrick has made 3 threes tonight, so he can shoot. Has had a couple rim out to start the game, or start the half, excuse me. Mallett once again drives. He's just so good at that upper body, as it gets the defenders off balance. He converts his 4th field goal of the second half.
Talked about in the pregame about how he's a tennis player. You can tell he understands spin.
Yeah.
Because he does a really good job of working the basketball off the backboard.
Wide open three once again for Lexington, and that's McDaniel. No threes in the first half, 4 here in the second. I think that's a product of that changing defense.
Yeah, taking the lead for Lexington on that three.
Wilson trying to regain it as the quarter winds down. 30 seconds left. Miller missed 3. Rebound really nicely secured there from number 20, Braden Carpenter. And let's see if Lexington decides to hold for the last shot. White swings it to McDaniel. 20 seconds left. Crosses over. Gives it to White. Swings it back out to McDaniel. Looks like they will try to wind this down. And White realizes it.
Going back to the zone here for this last possession.
Kilburn, he's made a lot. You knew that was going up. And he's fouled. Fouled by Mallett on a deep three. 4.8 seconds left. Lexington holding a 1-point lead. You think that's probably a symptom, Corey, of him making a couple.
Yeah.
And just not wanting him to get up another one.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate foul there by Mallett. Maybe a little bit of a rushed shot, but results in getting to the free throw line.
And he misses the first free
Plenty of
throw.
time here for Wilson to get up the floor and get at least a shot off.
Second one up and good for Kilburn, as that is now his 11th point of the third quarter, bringing him to 13 for the game. Kilburn up and no good. 1 out of 3 as the clock starts now, a little late. And Wilson that didn't need to shoot it that early, and it's off from half court. As we head to the fourth and final quarter, Lexington has flipped the script and taken a 2-point lead. This is Alabama High School basketball on the X Sports Network, brought to you by Bank Independent. We'll be back with you shortly.
Imagine a bank where you feel at home. Real people living right here in your community are the heart of Bank Independent and everything we do. You have our commitment to bring the people, ideas, and resources together that create a stronger community full of endless potential. For over 75 years, we've served this place we all call home. Bank Independent. We're invested in you.
In 1947, a group of farmers in North Alabama started a bank because they believed a local bank investing in local people is the key to making a positive difference in the community. Locally owned and operated, Bank Independent is committed to investing in our local communities.
I've been using Bank Independent as my primary bank for over 10 years now. If you're looking for dependability, professionalism, and a personal touch, Bank Independent's really the only way to go.
Fourth quarter has just begun here in Lexington, Alabama, as Lexington, the home team, clings to a 2-point lead. Zane Kilburn, a big part of that third quarter, with 11 third quarter points to give them a 2-point lead, as Wilson gets the rebound and comes away. Corey, as we start the fourth quarter, what's going to be the key here to determine what team pulls it out?
Yeah, I think you saw from Wilson in the third quarter, they were just really out of sync. James Mallett had 3 or 4 penetrations where he was able to convert. But really, other than that, they were not successful knocking down very many open shots, jumpers. Just seemed a little bit out of sorts. The adjustments by Lexington coming out of the locker room really gave Wilson problems. And Lexington, on the other end, has settled in and has gotten nice contribution from a lot of players on the perimeter. And White was a lot more quiet in the third quarter, but the rest of the team stepped up. And so it's going to be a battle, 2-possession game here. Really look for both of these teams to come out and finish strong. Neither team willing to back down from the other one.
You can definitely tell the momentum has shifted here as Lexington has taken a 4-point lead. Hetrick's wide open in the corner, doesn't see him, and a missed layup there by Landon Smith.
Yeah, that's a pass they were finding earlier, and Coach Krieger comes out on the floor. Coach Killen calls a timeout. Just a little bit out of sorts here. If you're Lexington right now, you want to play with pace, but you want to play under control. Same thing for Wilson. You saw a couple of turnovers in transition there, just guys jumping and leaving their feet to make passes. Really want to see solid fundamental basketball, value every possession with under 7 minutes to go now in the game. It's a low-scoring affair. Every single possession is pivotal.
As we have a little bit of time here, we want to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Bank Independent. And a reminder from Bank Independent, managing your money has never been easier. With Sync Mobile, contactless debit cards, and personalized service at every sales office, Bank Independent offers the tools you need with the service you deserve. Member FDIC. And as Corey was saying, we're coming down to the end here. 6:43 left in the game, and you know every possession is going to be important for both teams. You mentioned Will White. 9 points in the first half, 0 in the second. So you might think Lexington has struggled. Instead, opened up a 4-point lead because other players have come into the offensive picture.
Yeah, and you love that as a coach. Coach Killen, I'm sure, excited to see just the balance and his guys be able to step up, make plays, getting touches for Will White. He's still an integral part of their offense, but he doesn't have to score to be that for them. I do look for them to continue to feed him, try to get him some high percentage touches, maybe get him to the free throw line. He is still the catalyst of this offense. Not going to rely on three-point shots for the whole fourth quarter. There he is at the top of the key.
Really good body move right there by Chambers, but he misses the floater, and Hetrick comes away with the basketball.
Got a great look out of the timeout. Love that design. Off the UCLA cut there, just unable to convert.
Nice backdoor cut from Miller. Blows the wide open layup, and Lexington comes away with it. That's White.
Yeah, that's a good look. One of the best looks that Wilson has had this half. Unable to just slow his body down enough to be able to put touch on the basketball.
Drive there for McDaniel. Good job of cutting off his drive by Landon Smith, and Rich comes away with it in a reach-in foul on Aiden Chambers. Just the third foul of the night on the Golden Bears, and the first on Chambers.
Yeah, and you can see Landon Smith just has he has another gear of athleticism, his ability to get to the boards, but right there just one-on-one, grinded out on-ball defense, and was able to force a turnover by the Bears.
You can tell the possessions are getting a little tight here for Wilson as they turn the ball over once again. Up ahead to White, who's got an open lane, and he very smartly jump stops, but then has the ball taken away from him by Mallett in between White's legs, and Wilson now has it as Smith looks to clear it away.
Yeah, the trailing official that time a little bit late getting down the floor. A lot of contact. White got hit, and they didn't see it. Forces the turnover.
Mallett, his favorite right-hand little push shot off the glass. That time missed, and Lexington clears. Wilson scoring is slowed in the second half. Only 13 second-half points compared to 21 for Lexington. White at the top has had the ball for a long time at the top, and now Wilson applying some pressure in this man-to-man defense.
Yeah,
and we're going to get a timeout.
Yeah, going to their 5-out stall offense here with under 5 minutes to go and no shot clock and a 4-point lead.
And we've seen a shifting of momentum here in the second half, though, as Lexington has been able to take this 4-point lead. Once again, 0 3-pointers made in the first half, now 4 in the second. Meanwhile, Wilson, like I said, had several 3-pointers go down in the first, only 2 here in the second half.
Yeah, half-court set here. Let's see what Lexington draws up. Wilson is going to have to come out, be real aggressive in their man. Might see them do a little run and jump to just try to force the issue. They can't sit back and just let the minutes tick away with a 2-possession deficit. So really interesting to see how Wilson attacks here defensively and how Lexington handles it. And like you said a minute ago, every possession has so much weight on it right now. And you can see guys short-arming things a little bit, maybe not quite as much flow and freedom of movement as they had in the third quarter.
White at the top of the key now swings it over to Zero Chambers. Carpenter now has it at the top of the key. Kilburn's got it on the left wing. He backs it up to half court. You can tell with a 4-point lead, they're slowing things down a little bit. Kilburn spins in the paint, fades away, and that was some nice, talk about freedom of movement.
Yeah.
Very, very fluid there from Kilburn.
Yeah, just one-on-one, recognized it didn't have help coming from the backside, and knew that he could get into his man, create separation.
Kilburn is definitely taking this game over for Lexington if they pull it out. A big reason why they're going to. Miller now has it at the top of the key. As we're now halfway through the fourth quarter, closing in on 4 minutes. Smith now probing, kicks it to the corner. Pump fake from Mallett. Not really a three-point shooter.
No, but a subtle adjustment. That's a great entry pass.
What a pass.
Subtle adjustment by Lexington that time. They doubled Mallett every time he penetrated in, and that time he was just willing to pull it back out and finds Lexington out of position. Entry pass. First bucket in a while there for Wilson to be able to cut it back to a 2-possession game.
And you can tell Lexington finding their footing with their intensity, right? They seem to have definitely locked in this fourth quarter and really this entire second half. And that was another 30-second timeout taken there by Wilson as both coaches trying to just play a little bit of chess here as we get near the end of this game.
Yeah, a couple timeouts left for Wilson, 3 timeouts left for the home team Lexington Bears. Those timeouts are going to be critical Only one team foul on Lexington in the fourth quarter. So this game is going to most likely come down to executing in a half-court set because the ability to get to the free throw line is still a long way off.
As a spectator, this is a game you like to see. Nobody in foul trouble. Don't have to worry about that. None of the best players are going to be able to play this one out. All of them, I should say, are.
Wilson showing a little 1-2-1 diamond half-court trap or full-court trap here.
And he steps out of bounds, and that's why Wilson called timeout. A good feel right there by Coach Krieger, as he knows possessions are important. So they got a basket to cut it to 4, and now they're going to get another one.
That's a classic example. Coach Killen most likely focusing on a half-court set in that timeout. Did not have his guys ready to go for their press break, and it caught him off guard. Great adjustment by Krieger that time in the chess match that we see going on here.
Miller pump fakes, drives, jump stops, leans in, and good. Really good footwork right there.
Tough shot, tough finish.
He has been been Wilson's best player in this game, along with Mallett. Him, Hetrick, and Mallett have accounted for almost all the scoring, all but 7 points. As White probes, Chambers has at the top, now over to Carlock on the left wing. We now have a 2-point game once again. It's been close throughout with runs from both teams.
If you're Lexington here, I know you're trying to run some clock off, but you want to stay within the confines of your offense. Take really high percentage looks. That was not a great look that time. Might have gotten fouled, but didn't get the call.
Smith now has it for Wilson. Mallett probes. Really good step through move, and he's fouled. He's just really good at getting into the interior of that defense.
Yeah, Lexington with a 6-point lead and the clock running down. Maybe a little bit more of an opportunity to spread things out and force Wilson to come out and guard you. At some point, you've got to go downhill. At some point, you've got to attack that with the spacing. Now in a 2-point game, one possession, you've got to get back to running your offense. You've got to settle in, get back to the things that got you this lead, and don't lose too much rhythm before it becomes too late.
Mallett misses the first free throw, and I think that's exactly right. We talked about Will White in the first half and what good he was for the offense. Haven't seen him at all in this fourth quarter, and they were running offense through him in the third, but it's been mostly Kilburn, and we've seen their offense stall a little bit here in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, White's been pulled away from the basket. Like to see him get back to that high post area and let the screens come off of him and the penetration come off of him.
11 points for Mallett as him and Hetrick are both tied for the team lead. Really good drive right there by Chambers.
Yeah.
And
Love
he
it.
has 8 points on the night.
Take the points. Yeah, you're right. No, right on it. Great job of aggressively attacking that gap.
Wilson down one possession, one three-pointer, I should say, as they kick it out to Hetrick. He'll take that three, and he ties it up. His fourth three-pointer of the night, and other 2 points coming on free throws, as he has 14 for the night. Carlock drives into the paint, gets a bump, and yeah, you can see that coming. That's the second foul on Mallett.
Yeah, got bailed out there because he had nowhere to go. 3 defenders standing between he and the rim. Again, with Wilson really packing things in the paint right now.
And this is what you want here in a close game, as we've already talked about. These teams very familiar with each other, and White gets his own miss and will be fouled. The fouls, as they tend to do near the end of a game, starting to pile up. The foul was on number 1, Maxwell Hudson.
Yeah, great job that time of just following your shot. You've got the best view of what's going to happen. Go get it. Give yourself another possession. Every possession is critical right now to the success of the teams.
And we have a full timeout taken, so we're going to take a very, very quick break, and we'll see you on the other side of this break.
The year may be ending, but the savings are just beginning right here at Story & Lee Furniture. Just imagine 3 football fields full of furniture, and half of everything in the store is half off. Over 500 recliners in stock, and half of them are half off. Over 200 dining rooms in stock, and half of them are half off. Buy a Kingsdown king-size mattress set for the price of a queen. Plus, get 0% financing and free delivery too. Story & Lee's half off half of everything sale absolutely ends Saturday, January 3rd.
As we come back, 2:10 left to go in the fourth quarter. Lexington has it out of bounds. What are you looking for here? What do you think should be trying to do on offense, Corey?
Yeah, looking to get a high percentage touch on the inbounds. Got to do a great job of screening against this zone. Can't just move. You got to make contact, create something going to the basket. If it's not there, don't force it. Kick the ball back out. Take your safety, your outlet.
It's a dangerous pass, and it is, in fact, stolen by Brooks. And Wilson comes on the break. We're down to 2 minutes left. Tie ball game. Lexington has a 6-point lead in this fourth quarter, but Wilson has tied it back up at 42. And now they're going to pull it out. Another bad pass. Both teams getting a little tight here. As Mallett brings it over to the right wing between his legs, sizes up Carlock, backs him down. And now Hetrick has it at the top of the key. Miller over on the right wing. He gets a screen from Hetrick and another bad pass, but Brooks recovers in the corner. Kind of playing keep away. Good move by Miller, jump stop, and it's good. Wilson takes back a 2-point lead.
Pulling back out of the pressure now with a one possession lead. Wilson going to be content to play half court. Lexington with a timeout.
And we're going to have another timeout taken by Lexington. And we've seen kind of a stagnation in the scoring for Lexington's last 4 minutes. What do you think has happened on that side of the ball that's kind of taking them out of rhythm?
With about 4 minutes to go in that 6-point lead, they went to their spread. And everybody has their own philosophy, and it works, some nights and some nights it doesn't. But what it does do is it takes you out of the rhythm of your offense because you get into this keep-away mode where you're content to just move the ball around the perimeter without the intent of scoring. They were so effective when they went on that run and came from 4 points down to taking that 6-point lead where they were intentionally attacking the basket, using the interior passing, driving the ball towards the basket, and they just went away from that, and now they've had a hard time ramping it back up. And so that's one of those things. It's a call that you try to make because you feel confident in your kid's ability, but oftentimes what you see is it can backfire. So now you've got 1:15. You've got plenty of time to regroup. You just got to get back into that mode of the things that helped you be successful. Got to go back to the power of the stash here.
Yep. Number 23, Will White, is who we're talking about, and he first half especially played like a man among boys.
Got a fantastic mustache.
As Wilson goes back to that 2-3 zone and extends it out, Carlock has it on the far left wing, gets a screen from White, swings it over to Kilburn. Entry pass to White, and tied up by Wilson, and he loses it out of bounds. They teach all good post players to keep the ball high, and he dropped that ball.
Sure did. It's a great pick. Just coming in and getting a little flick.
Lexington now has to go to some pressure with a minute left.
Yeah, still a lot of time left. Neither team near the bonus right now, so you're going to have to get stops or go ahead and start fouling to extend the game.
Hetrick able to find a wide open Rich, and he's slowed down by number 2, Kilburn. Hetrick now pulls it out wisely. Mallett's going to look to kill some clock with no shot clock. And a 2-point lead to protect. He makes a dangerous pass over to Brooks, but it's caught. Back up to Miller.
Yeah, you're going to at least have to trap or foul, one of the two, and do result in a foul there. But the only way you're going to get the ball back is to go ahead and extend it here through either forcing something with some traps or going ahead and fouling. That's 3 team fouls now, so only 2 more to get into the bonus.
We've lauded the clean game that's been played, but in a situation like this, it's actually kind of unfortunate as they're going to have to foul at least 2 more times. White pressures Miller as he beats him, and now they look to try to get a turnover. Mallett trapped and pushed by Chambers. That's his 3rd foul. Only person with 3 fouls on the night.
Yeah, and Wilson's not done a great job of converting from the free throw line tonight. You get a chance to pick up a quick foul here, send him to the free throw line, then you've got to do a great job on the boards and getting yourself that basketball back.
Wilson.
Look for a quick foul on the inbounds here.
Wilson clinging to a 2-point lead. 32 seconds left to go in this game. Inbounds it to Rich. He has a wide open lane, but is grabbed by Lexington and finally in the bonus.
Yeah, and got to be mindful there, making a basketball play on that foul. Don't just reach out and grab somebody from behind, leaving it in the official's discretion there. But now, 2-shot foul, 30 seconds to go.
First free throw attempt for Rich. Up and good.
Very clean that time.
This is really a lot of times the difference between winning and losing a game when you have a lead is making free throws, and Rich able to capitalize on the first attempt. Big free throw here to make it a two-possession game. Up and no good, and Lexington secures the ball. 30 seconds down, 3, and it looks like we're going to get another timeout from Lexington. This is always the age-old question, Corey, of what you do here if you're either team really up 3. You don't need a 3, they always say, but if you're Lexington, what are you trying to do here on offense?
Yeah, for me, if I'm Lexington, I'm going to the rim. I'm trying to get a 2-point bucket here, and it's because of the fact that Wilson has not been successful shooting free throws. Yeah. I don't anticipate them being consistently able to knock down 2 free throws every possession, so right now I'm going to cut it to a 1-point game if at all possible and put it in the officials' hands. Maybe I get to the free throw line and can tie it, but a 1-point game, and then you immediately foul, and if you keep playing this out, you might get 4 or 5 possessions here, and if it's 2 for 1, that will eventually work out in your favor. Now, they come down and hit a couple of free throws, that dictates things a little bit differently, but that's my mindset coming out of this timeout is I'm going to look to see if I can run America's play and get the little back pick and run the lob over the top, or I'm going to penetrate hard and see if I can get all the way to the rim. If I draw a second defender, look for a kick out. If I get a kick out 3, I'll take that, but I'm not taking an early 3 on a perimeter pass.
I think that's a great breakdown there of what we should be looking for as Lexington will inbound it to Carlock. 22 seconds left, and he gives it to Newton, who steps out to Kilburn. Looking. Oh, good pressure there from Rich. Kilburn has it up top, trying to take that 3. And now we're 11 seconds left, and another timeout from Lexington. Not the look they wanted there, and really good defensive pressure by Wilson.
It really was, and a lot of hands there, but, just one of those situations you got to play through a little bit of contact. Kilburn, who's so instrumental in their second half run of getting them back into it, has been kind of taken out of what he was successful doing in the third quarter because Wilson has just ramped up their defensive pressure. Again, plenty of time here, 11.1. Ran a lot of time off without getting a shot up that time. Can't be that patient to run a full set. It's got to be one option and go coming out of this inbounds play right here.
And you broke down how you try to attack the rim with the time that they had. Now that window is shrinking as there's only 11.1 seconds left. So going to have to go quickly either way.
And with so many fouls to give for Wilson, you can be aggressive. Stay in your half-court man. Get really aggressive, be in the passing lanes, put some pressure on the basketball. If they call a foul, they call a foul. That means they've got to inbound it again. And so you're still 3 fouls away from putting them in the bonus, or 2 fouls away from getting into the bonus on the third. So you've got some room to work with here if you're defensively in the minds of Wilson.
Just remember, for those who have been watching, Lexington was up 40-34. And so that means it's been an 11-2 run in the last 6 minutes or so, as Wilson has a 3-point lead, 11 seconds left. Lexington inbounding the ball into Carlock at the top of the key. Wilson once again applying a lot of ball pressure. They get a 3 to Chambers in the corner, but he has to kick it back out. White takes a deep 3, knocks it down. 2 seconds left in a tie ball game, and we're headed to overtime. I wouldn't call that the smoothest play I've ever seen, Corey.
No, they were looking for the 3 in the corner, and Wilson defended it so well, and just a desperation heave. White's first points in a long time come on a 24-footer with 2 seconds to go, and Wilson unable to call a timeout there with more than 2 seconds left on the clock when the ball went through the basket. Just content to take it to overtime. It's hard to say who has the momentum right now.
The home crowd obviously got back into it there, and that woke up Mr. Will White. His first points of the second half. I guess you could say it couldn't have come at a better time as he sends this game to overtime.
Yeah, I love what we saw there from both teams. Gotten a little bit of a lull for each team. We talked about runs earlier in the game, and Lexington came out in the third quarter and went on their own run and really took control of the basketball game. But Wilson was not to be denied. They ramped up the pressure. They got aggressively attacking downhill and found ways to get stops and turn that into points, and came all the way back and took a 2-possession lead of their own before Lexington just comes back and throws up a miracle shot with just around 2 or 3 seconds to go in the game to send this thing into free basketball.
That's right, free basketball for the folks here in Lexington, as they'll jump it up again at half court. White for the Bears and Hetrick for the Warriors. White won the tip the first time and will do so again as Carlock now brings it in the front court. We'll see if that changes the momentum like Corey was saying. Chambers turns the corner, kicks it into White, gets a layup and one, and it looks like the momentum has definitely changed.
The first time we've seen that look from Lexington all night. That penetration in the third quarter resulted in layups and resulted in taking shots either on or off balance. First time they've looked to distribute on that deep penetration, and White was right there, right place, right time, and converts another three-point play. 6 points in a row scored for White.
Yeah, you're exactly right. We haven't seen any of that interior passing tonight. Finally able to get it into their big man, and he converts.
And Lexington goes to a zone here.
It really does show you, as we've seen tonight, just how fickle basketball can be, as now the Warriors are on their heels. Seconds away from winning it, now down 3 as they try to puncture into this 2-3 zone. And Mallett has it on the right wing, 3:20 left to go in the game.
Yeah, they've really extended Wilson. Wilson's playing 27, 28 feet from the basket with really no threat to get inside the three-point line.
You can tell on offense, tightened up a little bit. Hedrick now has a wide open 3, can't leave him open, and he rims in and out, and White taking over this ball game late. Carlisle walks it up, gets it to Chambers. He's been a good attacker. Attacks a good Euro and lays it up.
Yeah, what you're seeing is Lexington learned. They learned from their mistakes at the 4-minute mark in the fourth quarter. Now they've established a little bit of a lead, and they're continuing to keep their foot on the gas pedal. That will probably play better for them until it gets really late in this.
Be interesting to see if they continue to do that with 2:30 left. Mallett takes a floater, and you can see that momentum is gone from Wilson as he airballs the floater, and Kilburn brings it into the front court to Carlock. It looks like they will slow it down a little bit.
Yeah,
looks like the Wilson coach telling him to foul.
Yeah, Wilson really struggling to find a good look on offense.
Kilburn fouled by Rich. That's going to be his third foul of the night.
Fourth team foul, so still not in the bonus, and they've got to extend this game. It's pretty early to try to extend it, but you know that Lexington has the ability to spread it out if you don't just go ahead and start fouling.
Lexington inbounding the ball, now up 5. Carlock has it in the backcourt. Looks like he was tapped a little bit by Mallett, and they're going to get him for his third foul. Finally in the bonus.
Yeah, I love to see the energy and the effort, guys. Nothing unsportsmanlike by any means, but guys talking it up a little bit, getting after each other. It's been a hard-fought battle. These two teams have gone at it and played with just a ton of energy from the very first tip.
It really has been no lax in energy at all as Carlock knocks down the first free throw and the second. And Lexington takes a 7-point lead.
First 3-possession lead of the game.
Yep. It has been all Lexington in the overtime period, and it's amazing how much just a Hail Mary 3 can change the momentum of the game.
Yeah, without a doubt. Wilson in complete control there late. And now they're having a hard time just finding the way into. They've gone completely stagnant in their half-court zone offense. Great adjustment by Coach Killen to go to the zone in the overtime when he had to go man to extend the game at the end of regulation. That kept him in the game, but now he's gone back to his bread and butter, and it's really frustrated Wilson as they are unable to figure out what they want to do to attack it. Coach Krieger with a timeout there and try to get his guys to understand, look, one possession at a time. There's a ton of time left on the clock. We've got to be effective in this possession.
7-point game as the Lexington Bears have the lead with 1:51 left. I want to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Bank Independent, proudly serving our community since 1947. From personal banking to business solutions, Bank Independent is committed to helping North Alabama thrive. Bank Independent, built to serve, not to sell. Member FDIC. 1:51 left. Lexington has a 7-point lead, and this is high school basketball on the X Sports Network. It's been a great opportunity for both myself and Corey to broadcast these games tonight. We're joined by our producer, Sam Camp. Very thankful for him as he is doing all this excellent camera work for our audience tonight. As Miller has it at the top of the key for Wilson. Need to score here in the worst way as Hetrick makes a bad pass, but able to corral it as Miller. And Mallett now at the top of the key.
Going back man-to-man here out of the timeout.
A lot of contact and a foul.
I love the chess match between coaches. You know, Coach Krieger calls a timeout to set up a zone attack, and how does Coach Killen answer it? Goes back man. And so, again, just those precious seconds that it takes Wilson to recognize they're in a different defense. We've got to attack it differently. Those are the difference in wins and losses down the stretch.
Yep. Mallett makes the first free throw.
Extremely well-coached game tonight. All night long, we've seen 4 really strong basketball-minded coaches that have really just come out and done a great job of making adjustments and getting players to play hard. Love to see the energy and the effort.
That's exactly right. And obviously, as we've talked about, every game is officiated differently. But we haven't seen a lot of turnovers, I would say. I haven't seen a lot of fouls, and so that normally is a sign of 2 well-coached teams. I think we're going to have a foul here on Hetrick.
Yeah, that's not the worst thing. I mean, again, you don't love the foul call there if you're Hetrick, but you're trying to stop the clock. And whether that ball goes out of bounds or he goes to the free throw line, you accomplish getting the clock stopped. And then you just got to kind of hope.
Kilburn has missed the free throw tonight, but makes the first. As he's 2 for 3 on the night.
Kilburn played some really strong minutes for this team in the third quarter, and for a stretch kind of went on his own little mini run and just did a great job of getting them going.
He got 11 of the 21 points in the third quarter for Lexington as he misses the second free throw. And a 6-point lead as the fans getting into it a lot here, as this has been a very tense overtime period. Miller now at the top of the key, taking his time, something they can't really afford to do, down 6. He's got a 3, he takes it, makes it. As another timeout from Wilson, and Miller cuts it to a 3-point game.
Last timeout for Wilson, minute 09, 1 possession game, down 3. Try to figure out how you're going to change. They've shown the diamond in 1, full court press with the trap. I'd like to see them go to a little bit of a denial on the inbounds pass. If you can get a 5-second call here, be mindful of the run out, be mindful of the long pass, but you want to really try to force the issue. If you give up a layup, so be it. But you've got to try to force the issue. You've got to try to get that 5-second call or that first trap and maybe run through. A lot of time left. Minute 09 is an eternity with free throws and 1 timeout left for Lexington.
And I think that's why you saw the coach a couple minutes, maybe at the 2:30 mark, say, hey, let's go ahead and slow this game down, right? Lexington had all the momentum.
Yeah.
And suddenly now Wilson's kind of steadied that momentum, and it's cut it back to 3.
Yeah, they really have. And I tell you, Miller has just been all over the place tonight. I think that's his second or third 3 in the second half. He's done a great job of just finding ways to score. That's a big-time shot for him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this game is over if he misses that and Lexington comes down and scores.
A little bit too physical of a trap there, and you can see he got him with the lower body. And number 1, Maxwell Hudson, will pick up his second foul.
Yeah, Lexington, if they're going to win this game, it's going to be at the free throw line. They're going to get plenty of opportunities.
It's a long walk for Carlock as he'll be up there by himself, surrounded by 4 Wilson Warriors. And I think we've seen both teams have been at their best when they've played kind of with some desperation. When they've sat back, we've seen some slippage. So Carlock has been really good from the free throw line tonight. He's 3 for 3.
Yeah, you just wonder, like, that mindset. You see teams in football with that 2-minute drill. Oftentimes they relax and they just execute down the field because they're not thinking so much. And sometimes if you can remove that aspect of the game and just allow players to play and make plays, they really can show you what they're capable of doing.
The announcer's jinx there as Carlisle misses the second free throw. It's
Never
3 for
fails.
4. Yeah. Miller comes off another ball screen, swings to the corner. Mallett, he's in the corner, makes a spin move. Good pressure from Lexington. Good back cut by Rich. Up and in. It's down to 2.
They're wanting them to foul, and they're not responding.
Oh, wow. That was very close to a turnover.
Yeah, it was real close to a 10-second call or a turnover or an offensive foul. A lot of things could have gone there. It was the right call. Definitely contact by the defender. They're trying to foul. Right. Coach Krieger's telling them to foul, and so don't be upset when they do foul.
Yeah. I think the foul happened first, and then we kind of saw the Lexington player push a little bit, but definitely some contact initiated by Brooks.
These free throws become more and more tense. This is what we're talking about at the end of regulation. It's
got a little tight as White misses the first.
And now if you're Wilson, you get the rebound here on a make or a miss. You extend this game. You don't have to have a three.
Yeah.
You playing for the best quick shot that you can get.
White, short rim, there's the nerves. And once again, Wilson has a chance to make another comeback. Good inside pass, Rich wide open layup. What a pass from Mallett.
No foul now. They're going to play for one possession. Lexington with one timeout left. Coach Killen will probably elect to call it here.
I mean, this game has had everything. We saw Wilson have the lead. Lexington took it from him in the fourth, and Wilson came back. A desperation three to send it to overtime. And then once again, Lexington has dominated the period until Wilson storms back. And we're tied up once again with 20 seconds left.
Oh, the joys of pressure. The joys of pressure on a 17-year-old young athlete who's made some plays where he didn't have to think about it. He hits a 27-foot three to tie it. Comes to the free throw line with a chance to basically ice it and is not close on either of them. And that's just the game of basketball. It's one of the beautiful things about this game. And I fully expect White to make a great play here after missing those two free throws because that's the character that he plays with. But, man, what a great job. The resiliency by Wilson. 2 different times in the second half and in overtime, they've been virtually out of it. 6-point deficit, 7-point deficit, and they found a way to continue to come back. James Mallett right now has taken over with penetration, not for the purpose of scoring like he did early in the third quarter, but now he's penetrating to find a teammate, and it's been a critical shift for the Wilson offense. When they went the first minute and a half of overtime, and all they did was pass the ball around the perimeter.
20 seconds left. Carlock had an open look, almost throws it in the back court as McDaniel has on the right wing. Kilburn wide open, drains it from the corner.
With confidence.
Great ball movement, 6 seconds left. They need a three. Miller pulls it up. He drains it. We're tied again, and we're headed to a second overtime. What a game here in Lexington. 2 clutch threes, 57-57. Not much you can say about that game right there, Corey.
No, that was fantastic basketball. I mean, what you see there from Kilburn in the corner, just rhythm three in a good situation. Plenty of time if he misses it for them to get an offensive rebound, but he drains it. Wilson never hesitates. And who's on the other end but my boy Miller, and just elevating and knocking down another clutch three. You can't ask for a better continuation of this game. What you're seeing from these two teams and nobody willing to give up. We talked about at the onset, both teams coming off of back-to-back losses. And you can see the energy and the desire to be successful tonight. This is going to be heartbreaking for one of these two teams.
Yeah.
But both coaches can walk away from here tonight being extremely proud of just effort.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things that you can't control everything, but you can control effort. And so either one of these coaches is going to be able to draw from the positives of that as they go into their next couple of games before Christmas. But, man, what a finish.
Really, really impressed by both teams' shot making late tonight. I mean,
don't think just play. If you could put that on a shirt, don't think just play and let them do it. We're not switching ends of the court, guys. We're going to keep playing in the same direction.
So for the third time tonight, White hat-trick at midcourt for what will be the third jump ball in double overtime here. And for the third time, White back taps at the Carlock. Back to that zone.
Still not a major concern for anybody in foul trouble at this point. Guys just got to go out and play.
Yeah, that's right. 3 fouls is the most that anyone has. Several players stuck on that. Mallett and Rich for Wilson both have 3, and Will Brooks, and only Chambers for Lexington. Carlock top of the key.
I think the zone call here by Krieger is a good call. You don't want to be overly aggressive because everybody's in the bonus now.
Right.
And so you're just trying to control pace a little bit. Give yourself a chance to regroup. Very emotional finish to the first overtime. You know, don't want to run too much time out here, but you do want to give yourself a chance to recalibrate.
And something that happened in that first overtime is Lexington came out with all the momentum because they were in man, are able to drive that paint, not allowing that here early. White, really tough shot. Great defense by Miller, and Mallett comes away with it.
Yeah, well done, executed play that time by Wilson.
Now they give it to their best player. That's at the end of this game, Miller. Him and Mallett have really done a good job of controlling this game for Wilson. Mallett now has it at the top of the key. Miller with 18 points tonight. Mallett with 13.
Both teams being really passive to start the second overtime.
Miller, good drive. Tough pass to handle, but a great kick out. Mallett's first 3 attempt off the mark. And Lexington comes down with the rebound.
Like to see you get into a flow of an offense here. Don't hold the ball for quite so long. Let's just see if we can go score the basketball. Somebody's got to score to win it.
Yeah. You can tell both teams are almost like, we don't want another big swing of momentum.
Right.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
As Lexington has the ball. Carlock top of the key. Definitely seems like he's content to wait out this zone a little bit. Hetrick comes up. Probably a little pressure. McDaniel swings it back to Carlock at the top. Swings it over to the right wing. Now back to Carlock. And he'll play keep away for a little bit. 4 guys out on the perimeter for Lexington with White at the free throw line. And they should look to get it into him eventually. Now he has it way out front. A little bit of movement in this offense. And Chambers throws a bounce pass out of bounds.
Yeah, one thing that you got to be mindful of here is you're 38 and a half minutes into this game.
Yeah.
Now, this is beyond the scope of what these guys are typically playing, and a lot of these same guys have been on the floor for the duration, and they've played at such high energy. We've talked about that all night long. How does fatigue factor into these last 90 seconds?
Not much subbing has gone on in the second half, and so you're right. A lot of time spent on the floor for most of these players. Miller now guarded closely by Chambers. He once again punctures into the paint, gets a bump. No foul call. Might have should have been one there on White, but Lexington comes away with the ball as Kilburn brings it up the floor, and he rams into Hetrick, pulls a 3, no good. Refs letting him play as Smith comes down with the rebound.
Yeah, play through the contact. I like it. They're not going to bail anybody out at this point. If it's an obvious foul, go ahead and make it if it affects the play. Otherwise, play through some contact. Again, no score here in the second overtime.
39 seconds left and counting, as it looks like Wilson's going to play for the final shot unless Lexington applies some pressure. Mallett says nope, they're going to drive into the paint, and it was like he got stuck a little bit.
It's a good
timeout called.
Yeah, good timeout right there. Got in a bind, almost a 3-second violation. Don't want to risk a turnover there, not in this situation. So call your last timeout, regroup. Now, what we've seen from Killen the last 2 or 3 timeouts is they've come out in a different look defensively. This is going to be baseline out of bounds. Do we see a different look here? That time they were in man. They know they've got to give some pressure. Do they come out and play man on the half-court out-of-bounds defense? Or do they go ahead and ramp up the pressure and try to force the issue?
You've done a good job tonight of calling out the chess match between these two coaches, and I feel like both of them have given their teams a chance to win this game. And I'm sure we'll do so with 27 seconds left.
Yeah, and I think if you're Wilson here, you're trying to find a way to get a 2-man game between Mallett and Miller. You know, whatever that looks like. What's been effective has been penetration by Mallett and kickouts to Miller. And if the dump down is there, Mallett can find that as well. He's also shown that he has the ability to score if he gets a one-on-one match. So I look for Mallett here to work downhill, and then what he does from that, whether it's the reverse pivot kick out or the drop-off. And don't forget, Hetrick is still their number 1 guy on the perimeter. He's been much more effective off of paint touch kickouts than he has been on perimeter sweeps. And so if they can get that look for him too in this wide inbound set that they're running here.
Very important to get the ball in. Oh, and that's a dangerous pass, but Hetrick is able to corral it in the backcourt. Hetrick gets it to Miller. We'll see if Mallett and Miller are the ones to have the ball in their hands here. 15 seconds left, high ball screen from Rich.
They got the mismatch that they wanted on the switch.
And Brooks now has it. Mallett, that's who you want the ball in his hands. He gets in the paint, is fighting for, looks like his footwork is, and he's able to get. And a timeout from Lexington as they're able to block Mallett's shot and have the ball with 1.1 seconds left. I think Wilson fans wanted a foul, but if anything, there's a little bit of picking up the pivot foot there from Mallett.
Yeah, I think it's the right no call there. You don't want to bail him out on that. He's clearly under the basket, out of control, and it was nothing egregious by any means. 1.1 second here, though, not a lot that Lexington can do. Can't advance the basketball, so it's time for a catch and a heave. You don't really have time for a dribble with 1.1 left on the clock. Maybe one bounce at most.
We've seen some amazing finishes to overtime so far, and this one has been very uneventful in the second overtime with no points scored so far and 1.1 seconds left. Corey, I hope you're not sleepy. So we may be going to another third overtime here unless Lexington can have a really good play set up with 1 second left.
Long nights at the gym's the story of my life. I love it. This is one of those things where one of these teams is going to be elated at the end of this, and one of them's going to be heartbroken. But these teams have sold out. They've given everything they've had for the entirety of this game.
Been really impressed with both teams' intensity and really overall play. He gets it off.
Good look at it.
Oh! Hard to tell from this angle, but it was a little bit right.
Yeah, we knew that the length was good there. Couldn't tell straight on.
We are headed to the third overtime. Lexington and Wilson tied up at 57. Been a very eventful game. A lot of back and forth momentum swings as we has detailed. Let's go over the high scores in the game so far. James Mallett for Wilson has 13. Lucas Rich has 7, all of them coming in the fourth quarter or overtime. Noah Hetrick has 14, 12 of those coming from three-pointers. And Cole Miller, the leading scorer of the night for Wilson with 18 points. For Lexington, Aiden Chambers, he has 10 points on the night. Will White, the hero from regulation, making the Hail Mary 3. He has 15. And Zane Kilburn is their leading scorer with, he has 19 points on the night and made a big 3 at the end of the first overtime.
Yeah, so if I'm Wilson here, I might concede the jump ball. I might go ahead and match up the way I want to, because Hetrick's not going to guard White in the half-court set. But never know. Maybe he wins this tip.
This is where I used to jump up, and I wasn't the tallest guy. You got to try to get a little early jump.
Yeah, you got to jump the call, kind of like a defensive lineman getting just across the neutral zone.
White wins the tip to Carlock for the fourth time tonight. Skip pass to Newton, back to Carlock as we settle into this third overtime. Pretty much said all there is to be said about these two teams at this point. Now we just need to declare a winner. Carlock up at the top of the key. And Chambers is wide open on the baseline if they can find a way to get a pass back to him, but Wilson is in that 2-3 zone.
Yeah, and I like the activity down on the baseline. I'd like to see Lexington be a little bit more aggressive right here and see if they can force the issue.
And this is what
Wilson is trying to bait them into throwing this pass right now.
Yeah.
And the only way that pass gets there is if it goes through White in the high post first.
This is just definitely a spectator's opinion, but we want to see a exciting finish, and they've kind of gone into both teams a little bit of stagnation.
Yeah, this is where you would love to see the shot clock.
Yep, a little bit of tired legs, I'm sure, contributing to that dangerous pass. But Kilburn is Lexington's quarterback, and you can see it right there, a one-handed cross-court pass.
Yeah, trust his arm a lot.
Yeah.
But again, you can't fault Wilson for not overextending because they have exerted so much energy. Almost a turnover there.
They finally got the pass they wanted to pick off, and I think Brooks is looking at Smith, but he kind of gave it to him when he was on the out of bounds.
Yeah.
And so the ball goes back to Lexington. Get into the corner, wide open Chambers, miscommunication and in and out.
Had wide open shooters in both corners. Yeah. Wilson asleep on the inbounds defense that time. Fortunate to live through that possession.
2:20 left to go in this third overtime. We have had no points scored in either overtime, second or third. And another bad pass back door as Lexington will take it away.
Back to the man-to-man defense that time by Lexington. You could tell it just caught Wilson off guard. Now Wilson in the zone.
A lot of chess match between both coaches, swapping up their defenses, and they're in the 2-3 zone. They've caused Lexington to slow down a lot when they've gone to this look. Carlock, long pass to Kilburn. They need to get to the middle of the floor. White now has in the short corner. Yes, that's what he needed.
Yeah, just flattening him out a little bit in that offense, getting the ball deeper on the wings and just attacking in their natural offense. Love to see that there.
17 points for White.
Yeah, how does Wilson respond here? Because now they can't be quite so passive in the half-court set.
This guy's been the answer when they need a bucket all night. He kicks it to Brooks. Wasn't set, and you could tell wasn't ready on the catch and missed everything. Kilburn comes up and will slow it down, give it to Carlock.
Now you're going to have to foul.
He's able to dribble out of trouble. Oh, might have double dribbled, but
got real
gets
close.
The ball. Chambers gets it to Kilburn on the right wing. He throws it across court to Carlock.
Keep the pressure up if you're Wilson.
And a foul from Hetrick. That's only his second. This is where we've seen both teams make some mistakes with the lead and at the free throw line. We'll see if Carlock can convert. He's 3 of 4 on the night. 4 for 5 as he now has 7 points in the game.
Yeah, it's really hard in this situation with nobody up there just to step up and just clear out all the noise. Just go to work, muscle memory take over.
Really good.
Just a fantastic effort that time.
5 for 6 on free throws in the fourth quarter and the 3 overtimes for Carlock. As Wilson now has the ball. Mallett does what he does and dumps it off to Rich, kicks it back out. He doesn't like to shoot a 3. Hetrick gets one off, though. That's going to be in the bottom. 61-60 timeout, Wilson.
Again, the penetration by Mallett just sets everything in motion. They didn't score off the entry pass, but it collapsed the defense. Kick out, swing pass, and Hetrick just doing a great job of keeping them in this game.
We have a 1-point game, 50.3 seconds left. I'm done trying to predict what's going to happen, Corey, at this point.
Yeah, well, Wilson just subbed a couple of guys in, see if they get up, put early pressure on, and maybe try to just extend this game by fouling. I don't think they'll allow Lexington to just walk the ball up the floor. They nearly had a 10-second violation of the last time they pressured up here. Maybe that's what they're thinking at this point. It's like, let's see if we can force the issue and maybe get us a 10-second violation or a turnover on a bad pass. If not, get it into the front court, and then we'll go ahead and foul there. I wouldn't foul in the back court at this point unless you're just going for the basketball and it happens.
Landon Carlock, really the only dependable free throw shooter on the night for Lexington, so you would guess Wilson's going to try to foul anybody else but him. They will have it on the baseline, the ability to run.
Yeah, White's looking for an opportunity to get back to the stripe and redeem those 2 misses he had earlier.
Back to Carlock, and they're going to foul him. Mallett with his 4th foul. We talked about how there wasn't any foul trouble in this game, but this game's gone on for so long. We're starting to see it crop up.
12 extra minutes will do that to you. Just the dictation of the nature of the game.
Yeah.
But, again, that's a situation. You didn't get a really good trap, and so when you don't get a good trap, you're not going to force the turnover, which results in having to foul. Mallett's talking to his team members right now. We've got to come after that a little bit harder.
Another good free throw by Carlock. I will say, personally, I would have liked to see that stretch on a little bit. Mallett has 3 fouls. You fouled the best free throw shooter 5 seconds in.
Yeah.
Would have liked to see that go a little bit longer.
Yeah, and it's still just a 1-possession game, even if he makes this. So you got plenty of time to execute. Don't have to have a 3. We've talked about this ad nauseum tonight. Take the best shot you can get, but go after it quickly. And that's what Krieger's telling them. Let's go. Let's move into it. Get into your rhythm, get into your flow, and see what happens.
Hetrick wanted to take that 3, but pulled up.
Did.
Mallett now doing what he does best, probing the paint, kicks it to Miller. He will pump fake a 3, takes an off-balance one, misses. Rebound Rich, though. He's been great down low. And back out to Miller. Mallett now has it. He pump fakes. He'll take a three. And he makes it. Oh, man.
Hadn't taken a three until about a minute and a half ago, and now he hits the biggest one of the game.
Here we go. 8 seconds and another timeout. 63-63. They're going to have to let me go take a nap if this game keeps going on.
And the thing about that possession there with Mallett is he passed up an open three on the catch.
Right.
Dribbled into a harder three and then manages to rattle it in. What just playmakers we've seen tonight on both ends of the floor. Guys just stepping up and knocking down shots. Nobody wanting to go home tonight. Nobody wanting to take the L tonight. And it's just been a great battle of two quality high school basketball teams that will both struggle to get up tomorrow and take finals.
Yeah. That's a good point. We got the Christmas break coming. Everyone in their Christmas sweaters here. And after a game like tonight, you know the players are going to want to go home and just get a good night's rest.
Yeah, let's talk about the Christmas sweater game right now. Both cheerleading groups have just been so active and so supportive of their teams.
Yeah.
And they're all rocking the Christmas sweaters. And these aren't the ugly Christmas sweater contest. These are cute sweaters that they're out here. They're supporting their team. And it's just been a great atmosphere, great environment for high school basketball tonight.
Got the designer sweaters on, most of them, as we are in the third overtime. 7 seconds left. Lexington up. They swing it to Chambers. He punctures the paint. Gets a layup off. Goes in. Great drive. They're trying to call a timeout, and they don't see it. Or he may not have any timeouts left. They didn't have one left, it looks like. And the game is over.
The referee looks right at him and shrugs his shoulders. He's like, I can either call a technical because you don't have one,
right,
or just let it go. And James Mallett just lost the time of what was going on there, lost the situation. But what a finish by Chambers using the English off the backboard. What a basketball game. Two teams just fought so hard and really just did not want to let go tonight. Saw play after play being made and just guys willing to step up and take it to the final buzzer tonight. Well done by both schools.
Yeah, you wanted to see the game end on a made shot, not in a foul or something like that. So I'm glad we were able to see that happen. And the final score tonight is going to be Lexington 65, Wilson 63, and the Lexington Bears will improve to 5-4, while the Wilson Warriors will fall to 8-4. I'm Clay Miller, and I've been glad to have been joined by Corey Thomaston tonight. We're very thankful for our producer, Sam Camp, who has also stayed up with us and given you all the amazing camera work. We're very thankful for him. And this has been Alabama High School Basketball on the X Sports Network, brought to you by Bank Independent. Good night.
This is the X Sports Network.
Independent. We're invested in you.